I really thought to myself, like, if I keep waiting to like record a video for YouTube, I'm never gonna record it. If I wait for me to be all glammed up and look all good, I'm not gonna make a YouTube video. This is gonna be the most rawest, unedited video you're going to see. And you're gonna see a lot of this on my channel. So thank you guys for being here. And today's topic, as you guys saw in the video and in the header for the specific video, is a topic that I really wanted to discuss. And I have a timer for 10 minutes because this is gonna be a 10-minute video just going in depth on this topic, and hopefully you guys find some value in this. Hopefully you, especially, you know, a parent of a young teenager going into the stage of looking for a college or university or applying to go to school, or if any of you here are, you know, in the process of applying to school and going into college, and you're asking yourself the question, is college worth it in 2026? So I'm here to answer that question. I'm gonna answer it based on my experience, based on, you know, the things I've gone through, and hopefully, like I said, you can find some value in this. But like right into it. So my experience was a little different when I was in high school. So I was in high school at around 2017, and you know, when I was a senior in 2017 and then I graduated that year, I was so overwhelmed. I was so burnt out. That's the first time I experienced being burnt out in my life as a teenager, y'all. And it was so hard because I was in school. I was, you know, trying to apply to all these universities. I applied to 22 colleges, and out of those 22, I got accepted into 2, and I didn't get no financial aid. So for me, my case is I was born in El Salvador and I was raised in the US. So I don't have a citizenship nor a green card. I am protected to be in the United States. I'm actually protected by DACA. DACA is the Deferred Act for Early Childhood Arrival. So as a DACA student, you do have, you know, a worker's permit and a social security, but you can't apply for financial aid. You can't get government money. So I went to school in Washington, D.C. So because D.C. is not considered a state, there is this scholarship called D.C. CAP, which basically helps you kind of like bridge the gap between in-state and out-of-state tuition at any college that you apply to. So I couldn't even get that. I couldn't get no financial aid. So I had to give up extracurricular activities like soccer, softball, all these sports that I wanted to play. I had to give up extracurricular activities to stay after school to apply to scholarships that were not government money. So I did, you know, I put in the work, I put in the hustle, y'all. Like, I was going to bed late. I was, you know, like, I was also working when I was in high school. I had a part-time job, and it was very tough because, you know, as a Latina, our parents tell us, go to college, and they have no, you know, experience. They have no kind of advice to give us when it comes to going to college because they never experienced that. But they've heard that if their children go to college, they can get out of the poverty that they're living in because of their education. And long story short, I applied to all these schools. I didn't get no money. If anything, the only school that gave me money, the only 4-year institution that gave me money was Temple University. I applied to Temple University, which is located in Philly. They gave me $5,000, which honestly, you know, $5,000 is something, but when you're talking about 4-year institution, it's really nothing, right? So I went through all of that, y'all. I went through so much burnout. I gave up so many things that I wanted to do in high school. And also, I was a bad student, y'all. I was that student that would skip school every single day. Like, kid you not, I probably only went to school like twice a week. I would skip a lot of school. I had a 1.7 GPA when I was in 10th grade and 11th grade. And then I hit senior year and I was like, you know what? I gotta get my shit together and I gotta go to college. I have to do it because my parents keep telling me I gotta go. My teachers keep telling me I gotta go. My counselors keep telling me I gotta go. And I was like, okay, I gotta get my shit together. I literally got into 3 AP classes when I was in 12th grade. I was so burnt out. I actually ended up taking my 1.7 GPA to a 2.5 when I graduated high school, which is insane. Insane. So then I was like, you know what? Like, okay, cool. I applied to all these colleges and nothing worked out, because as a DACA student, you have to realize there's no reason why you should be paying a dime to go to school. You should go to school for free. That is my opinion. And you know why? Because I was like, I need to apply. I need to do all these things. I need to get my shit together. And I just decided that the best route for me, especially as a DACA student, was to go to community college. So I ended up going to community college. I went to Prince George's Community College, and it was the best choice that I made. Here's why. Because I want to make it quick and I only have 6 minutes left. And I know there's probably going to be many unanswered questions here. You guys can leave them in the comments, and I'm going to try to definitely make other videos to explain this to you guys. But going to community college, if I had to do my college journey all over again, I would start at community college. Why? Because me, especially as a DACA student, you don't have the leverage as somebody who gets financial aid and gets government money. You don't have the leverage, okay? As a DACA student, you have no leverage to experience, you know, with different classes and figure out what the hell you want to major in, because you have no money to waste. The scholarships, you have to reapply. You have no money nor time to waste as a DACA student or somebody who does not have legal status in the US. And I went to you know, community college. Like I said, it was the best decision I made. I literally ended up getting a lot of scholarships to pay for my community college. When I was in my second year of community college, I entered this program, I entered the scholarship program, which at the time it was known as Hillman Hillman Scholarship Program. And then when I graduated, you know, the name has changed over time, so now it's Southern Management Leadership Program. What this program was, it was basically like helping financially, you know, university students go to a full-time 4-year institution. So I ended up getting into that program. I ended up doing my last year at community college, paying no money, because thanks to this scholarship program. And then this scholarship program secured me a spot at one of the best universities in Maryland, in the DMV, which is the University of Maryland, College Park. So I ended my 2 years at the University of Maryland, College Park. I majored in communications with a minor in technology entrepreneurship, and I graduated college debt-free. And you know how I did that? By seeking opportunities. I was talking to students. I was telling them, hey, I have no way to get financial aid money. And when you put your story out there, you will be surprised how many people really do genuinely want to help you. But obviously you do have that negative energy and people that really don't want to help you and they just want to see your downfall. But I ended up getting into the scholarship program. I graduated college debt free. And now, after almost 4 years, I'm going on to 4 years of being out of school, I could genuinely say that in 2026, college is not worth it. Why? I kid you not, out of all the jobs that I've had, and I've not once have been asked for my college diploma. Not once have I been asked, where did I get my education? You know, I put my, you know, my story of my, like, where I went to school, because I'm proud of where I went to school and all the work that I had to put in. I graduated college, y'all, with a 3.9 GPA. 3.9. From going from a high school student who had a 1.7 GPA to a 3.9 in college. I only got 1 B in my college transcript. Everything else was A's. And I'm so proud to say that, because I put in the work, y'all. I put in the work. And then to get out of school and it being so hard to find a job as a Latina, as an immigrant, that is a disservice to those people, me, who have put in the work. And then you get out here into the real world, quote unquote, and it's so hard. The job market is so hard in 2026 that the only really thing that matters in 2026 for you to get a job is the people you know. In college, they're gonna always be like, network. But instead of spending $60,000 a year going to school, I could have learned that somewhere else. In today's time, I would not recommend you going to college. And the reason is because there's so many other ways and so many other affordable things that you could do. If you're trying to get an education, you can get a certification, for example. Certifications cost around $2,000, $3,000 for a certification, instead of paying all that money to go to college. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy because even when you get out of college, although you have a bachelor's, some jobs ask you to get certain certifications. So all in all, and I'm not saying for me, as a communications major, as someone who majored in the marketing world and communications, I would say that I could have definitely learned all those skills and all those like things that I have learned in general. I could have learned that by getting certifications, by being in rooms filled with people who have that knowledge, by going to workshops, by investing in myself in other places that wasn't as expensive as it was in college. So and for the experience, like going to college does give you an amazing experience as a young adult. I ended up joining a sorority, Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated, in my senior year. So I would say for the experience, it's definitely worth it in that aspect. You do build connections, you do build genuine friendships and relationships that will last your whole lifetime. But when it comes to, is it worth it money wise and going to school to get an education, I will definitely say it's not, because even in today's time, COVID taught us that people can make money and be successful and become millionaires by making and doing digital products and making money online. So that's a way in 2026 that you can genuinely build a career and money off of it. Start your own business. I'm gonna tell you right now, in 2026, we are done trading time for money. That is not the goal in 2026. We don't want to do that anymore. In 2026, kids getting out of college, they are, even like some of them are just going back to retail stores, are going back to working minimum wage jobs, because the market is so hard, y'all. The market is so hard. So my biggest recommendation when it comes to just going to school overall, I will say, is definitely not worth it. I will only say that the only time that this could be worth it is if you're looking to become a doctor, a nurse, study kinesiology, biology, or any tech related things. But even in tech, I had a friend who freaking studied criminology in college and literally graduated college, did a 6-month course, and was making six figures after he studied for 6 months just to get an IT certification. So what I'm saying is, even IT in college, like, I honestly and genuinely think that there is other routes that you can take to get to where you want to be, but you do have to put in the work. Nobody's gonna follow you around, and nobody's gonna keep you accountable, or no one's gonna be like, oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You gotta keep yourself accountable. So I hope that this helped you, make a decision on whether or not college in 2026 is worth it. I would have liked to make this video a little longer, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. DM me, message me. I am here for you. I'm here to help you. And like I told y'all before, like, Isela is built off of different things that she loves, right? I love going to the gym. I love making gym content. I love, you know, making beauty and skincare stuff. And this makes me me. This makes me who I am. So if you're here, you know, with me building this community together. You're a part of this community. So if you ever feel lost or if you have any questions, we're all navigating through life. We're all navigating through life. But if I can help you, you know, figure out something that you need to figure out, get some advice on things that you might want, have, or need advice in, then I'm here for you. Because I genuinely would have wished that I would have found a video back in 2017 that told me if college was going to be worth it or not. So I hope that, like I said, this video helps you out. I'm going to be making more videos here on YouTube for you guys, and I genuinely do hope that you guys tap in, you know, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I'll be posting a YouTube video every week. That is the goal that I have for myself this year in 2026. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Subscribe, like this video, share it, and I will catch you guys in the other one. Hopefully in my other videos I start to, you know, make them more YouTube-ish. This one was like very raw and more like, let me just talk, let me just start it off. Because if I don't, and if I keep waiting for me to get like a freaking like intro, or edit an intro, or like, you know, get it from someone, I'm not gonna start. And you know, one of the things that my mentor told me once, she was like, Isela, waiting creates fear. So if you keep waiting and waiting, it's gonna create fear and you're not gonna get started. So hopefully that resonates with one of you guys. I love y'all, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.